Hey guys, reading time. And this is an exciting one. This took days, which means I feel like this collective, it's been a couple of very intense days. It's been very, heavy days, I feel, of feeling a lot of, I'm seeing rejection, feeling rejection. But there's this big transition, which I was talking to Sarah today. There's a big transition happening with your feminines, and it's happening. It's happening. So, the messages for the collective to know is mad from what has not been spoken of. So, there has been something spoken of, and there has been, time between the validation of that was spoken, and also there was a moment of disrespect that you felt that not you, I'm sorry, the person on your mind, the feminine. And even for this collective, there could be something that you felt disrespect as well, but maybe you're not seeing it in some sort of perspective. Or also it could be with people externally right now with you. You could be having literally what you kind of did to this person being shown in your 3D with relationships. But initial message was irritate. I feel like your person is irritated. They're in a, they're really transmuting, I feel. But there's this truth within them that is, and I feel like even though there is a reading for them that, I'm working on, there is also this message from their reading towards this collective, which means you are about to get the chance of your lifetime, I feel. You are about to get that last bit of chance before this person closed the door completely. Completely. One of the messages I was feeling for the feminine collective, this is, I release with love, but I don't trust you, which means you have broken this person's trust time and time again. Also, this self-respect, this respect issue that she's going through, or this something that where she felt disrespected, is something that is going over her mind right now, which means it would be going over your mind, but you maybe were in a, well, it shouldn't be something that, bothered. Like, why would it bother? You know what I mean? But you are getting the lesson now with that kind of same thing, or that kind of that kind of respect that was lost, or you felt disrespected. I couldn't remember what it was called. Well, that maybe that's how it took you, it was disrespectful, whatever that you did to this person, because of the history, and this person felt it. Like, everyone has their own truth, but there's this energy of, disrespectful. So you would be getting tests right now with disrespect being towards you. Sign. Hold on, I need water. All right, so sorry, my mouth was like so dry. But it's a true act of self-love and value, which means this collective, you are going to, I'm seeing my courage card, I'm not going to lie. But you are going to need to not be impulsive. This literally put, don't be impulsive. Don't doubt yourself if coming from the truth. So you are going to have the opportunity to really, from the heart, from understanding on both sides, conversation. That's what I'm feeling. And I'm feeling like it's not that many days. I would even say maybe 24 to 48 hours. But you know what? We are already going to confirm. Oh, it said 5 days. I was seeing more. I'm following my gut with that. But maybe it's 2 to 5 days. But yeah, don't doubt yourself. There. I should have just I'm hearing to I'm hearing 1 to 2 days actually, but so don't doubt yourself if coming from the truth. All right. Let us get into it. I'm just going to go with tarot because I have been feeling this week has not been easy for this collective. No. But you're being reflected right now, the behavior that you put out to the world, because you're about to get a test with that. Which means your feminine could be literally on the brink. Well, not on the brink. If they're already seeing this as something they cannot trust, and that is something that they have been working on, which this collective you have as well. They've been balancing. They've been being practical. They're not juggling anymore. They're just, they're adapting. This is financially adaptation though. So they could be coming into quite some abundance. But they're prioritizing their balance over this connection, which means you have made this person wait. But let's see what is going on in your I am seeing I'm seeing that 5. I saw that 5 of Swords and 5 of Cups. But let's see what's going on in your energy right now. Bubbling under the surface, confirmation to what I said. So this is what's around you even. But even you, there's things bubbling under the surface here having to do with the lack of direction with certain ideas even. But there's, yes, emerging ideas, but you're kind of like in a, maybe you've been thinking or intuitively thinking of, starting some form of art work or something related to the arts, or something that maybe, which means you must be really going through it. Like you're needing to get an outlet because you're going through so much right now emotionally, but also as I said before, if she's about to have this opportunity and you guys have this opportunity of truth, this lesson is also for you with the people around you. You know what I mean? This is something also, collective, you have been feeling. But I feel like maybe that's why you're seeing this reading. You're needing clarification if what you're feeling is really true, because it's bubbling under the surface. I would like, wow. So laying a foundation, this is good. This is very good. So being grounded, there are great prospects. Study of magic also. Your person could be, every time I see that as your person could be a high priestess. Shut up. Shut up. No, sign. And a powerful high priestess at that, which means this collective, you are powerful as well. There's something within your oracle within that they're really trying to expand you, even if you're already in this energy, because this is your energy. You're wanting to study magic even. Maybe, you're already in the frequency of readings, but I could see that sign. And I would bet it's Sarah. Hold on. Oh no, it's my mom. Hold on, I'm sorry. But they are trying to connect you, if not already, but with your divine feminine energy, with your inner knowing, with your sacred wisdom, with your illumination, with your higher self. This is your energy, which means you can embody this. That's your divine feminine, which means Hierophant. Hold on. 8 of Coins. So you are bored. You're in complacency, you're scattered, you're all work, no play. There's a reason why that emerging on the surface may be something creative as well. You're in repetitive mode. You're not delivering mode. Which means this is what you made this person go through. There is 2 parts of the story. Each one has their own. This is what has created that delay as well. Like this tug of war, and maybe, Maybe you were someone who used to love bomb, or you used to be someone who is very 0 to 100. That's something they had to learn. But this collective, I'm seeing, and it's funny because I literally started this reading with the bells of the church, and that's for me my signs of divine intervention, which means I feel like divine intervention is really at play right now and is about to be in the next 24 to 48 hours. And Ace of Wands, days, sign. For the first card also, 1. Last one for your top row. Maybe I should just get 4. Which makes sense. Emperor energy. Which that's something I was talking about with Sarah. I feel like there's this really... We're about to come to the second of the second portal, which actually is Emperor energy. So, but it's also, I feel like, having to do with duality, but not only your duality, but your person's duality. It's very, mirrored in all aspects. You guys can hear that, right? Sign. So it would not surprise me. I'm sorry I'm like drinking, no, I'm not sorry. I'm thirsty. And that's also maybe, part of it. Just trusting in your body and what if it's coming from a space of truth. All right, let's confirm. What's this Ace of Wands? What's bubbling under the surface? Divine intervention. This has been bubbling under the surface for the past 3 months. Wow. This is the kind of reading I would have loved to have it in Spanish as well. I'm going to have to work on this one. I'm going to have to put subtitles. I am going to have to really put in the work, which means collective, you're going to have to put in the work. But subconscious, for your new subconscious to be revealed, a new emotional cycle, you're seeing clearly. I bet your ass you are. Divine aid, that has been creating endings so that then when it's time, this turns around and finally is that breath of fresh air and this new and exciting. But for first, you need to go through it to get a new perspective. This is a magical collective. Not that my other ones aren't, but this is like powerful. I feel like I've never felt an energy like this before, which means this collective would have never felt an energy like this before. Page of Coins. There's this ambition within you as well, though. It's like, which means the strength, you've also been embodying that strength. You know what I mean? Means that you have been maybe, in some opportunities you've had that chance to really put your opinion and standing your ground with whatever you were going through emotionally, like taking ownership of your emotions and also putting up the boundaries if you're needing to put up the boundaries. So don't be too hard on yourself. You've been overly emotional. So that's also something that maybe has led to this collective wanting to maybe study something and maybe also, I'm hearing Reiki. So maybe also you've been not only with study of magic, but maybe just study of frequency. I'm not seeing this. It could be that maybe you like that and you're like really into it because you're finally like open a little bit more with it. But you've been working hard through overly emotional energy. Also, you could have manipulative energy as well, and that's also kind of like made you start setting new goals and starting to ground yourself because you're feeling repressed, moody. There is a focus on your feelings, and that's why I'm saying that I feel like there is this, knowing within this collective. You would not get the High Priestess if you didn't know. Or because I feel like this is such a, again, two mirrored energy. You could be building up to that point. So if whatever this communicate, it's gonna solidify in that point, I feel. Maybe you're starting to even understand that you're emotionally unavailable. Maybe you're starting to also understand confirmation while I was saying magic. Your powers of manifestation. So every time I see this card, I see literally you think of something, it happens. That kind of energy. Which means sign. Which means collective, you are connected to someone who is actually very much like that. But you're starting to maybe take inspired action. There's this concentration as well having to do with your feelings. It's no longer like, I feel like you're finally understanding what other people maybe go through when you're going through those emotions, and now you're like, I don't want to say pissed off, but it's like, I don't want this anymore. You could be hitting like really that brink, and that's why, you know, there's like, I need to, and more if it's been happening for the past 3 months. So for the next 3 months, there's something that has to do with an ending. I'm seeing the 3 days more than 3 months, but or it's at 5. What day is it today? Maybe it already happened on the 5th. No, I did ask how many. Well, I didn't ask actually, but yeah, you're in. There's this willpower within you. I want one more. Let's just. I want to see confirmation. Literally, sign. It's the. It was more like this, so I'm gonna put in a new perspective, and more so because it did come out and. It did come out a new perspective of how unstable the situation is right now, how you are having to be cautious, and there's greed around you, and there's so many delays, you know, with that world in reverse. There's ironing out the details energy, which means you are going through an awakening here. High Priestess. But through release, letting go, yes. Maybe you're needing to also, that's why you're in this Master Manifestor, so you kind of like you could be in that stage, because there is a moment where in the feminines we are in that stage of really needing to see through that 3D to kind of like create more of that, because that's how the brain works, kind of create more of that okay, literally what I'm thinking is happening, so that you create that release with that time frame, or that, you know, that attachment to that result even more. So that's why that's why it requires so much patience, because you're literally just, you know, periodically, because it's how it happens when you are going through this awakening. It's periodic, so they don't really, and it depends on each person. For me, I don't feel like it hit me so hard so many times. I feel like it was more periodic, which means it's collective as well. Like I would have breaks, you know, and then I would see the manifestation that would keep me going, and it would be like that. And it would be with anything else but, you know, what I really wanted in that moment, you know, what that attachment that I wanted in that moment. Once I would just focus on that, it would be like showing, okay, so this is happening, okay, perfect. So even more prolonged that patience and that waiting time. You are going through that. You are going through that, you know, that initial stage of whatever you think is happening, good or bad, to create this new perspective through this awakening, so you can finally surrender to that time and finally detach from the time and when it's going to happen and how it's going to happen, that you are finally in that flow. And that's why you have this High Priestess next to it. There's creation of this yielding energy, which I do feel this collective you are kind of feeling. Again, there's a reason I said strength. And there's a reason why they're asking you to really be in that strength right now, because there's something happening that is going to be testing your strength. So remember what that feels like. High Priestess. Ideas forming. Yes, there are self-limiting energy, but there is an energy redirect. You're finding a new path through this. And also this came out of not being, like, maybe even you've been starting to meditate, I would say, you know. I do feel like there is this energy of, because the feminines are really, and that's part of that strength that you need to go through, because if feminines are really I really finally detaching to the point where they are seeing you like a risky endeavor. I have been working too much on my peace. That's how they're seeing you guys. So no wonder you're in this energy of lack of self-confidence. That's why they're telling you trust in what is being shown to you through this oracle within. Trust. That is what is going to create this balance of your energy, of your emotions, through a vulnerable space, through a Queen of Cups, like finally really emotionally connected you, because you're following your intuition. Part of that High Priestess has to do with your intuition. Just that, people who have that High Priestess have the ability to see it or hear it or have the information shown in whichever way you excel at. Some people like only hear. Some people see images. Some people see colors. Some people, see. But everyone has their own kind of, how you see. However, High Priestess energy, I do feel, has all the clairs. So you literally see. You literally have images come to your face. You can see maybe through fire or through, maybe you've had moments of maybe just staring at maybe a cup or the reflection of a cup, and maybe you're like, I'm seeing something there, but it's maybe you would have doubted. That came to my mind for a reason. You can see, you can hear, you can dream, it could be just a flash of a date or different things, but they're trying to redirect your energy also to your energy of Queen of Cups, which means collective, you have the ability to be in a Queen of Cups. You are yes loving. You're trying to connect with your empathy as well. So you can finally see what this person was going through, literally, but through deep feelings and being in the flow, not controlling or being impulsive. Not to be impulsive with the information that is brought to us. You just need to trust in divine timing. Let's get one more for Page of Wands. See? To create this King of Coins, to create one of my divine masculines. Emperor energy, by the way. Yes, Emperor is more, I don't know. I do see King of Coins and Emperor very, King of Coins has maybe the, what's it called? The business, but Emperor has the empire. That's, I feel like, the only difference, but each one in a very abundant way. And, I feel like it's different levels of exposure. So maybe you are someone who doesn't like to be so exposed, but also there's something about business that I'm hearing with this. But what it's being redirected to is your King of Coins energy, your stability, your dependability, your hardworking energy, your financial stability as well. The strong sense of self. There's a reason why I keep saying trust. To start charting the course through your visions. To start, seeing the opportunities or even creating the opportunities. Two of Wands is movement. Through decisions and through considering options and future planning. But focusing on the big picture, not just, our picture. Right now, there could be an air sign. Maybe that is, maybe you're feeling, you could work with your dad. But you can feel like maybe with this person it's all work no play. Also, it could be a love interest or an ex love interest, but right now you're feeling controlled. There's this lacking of integrity that you're seeing as well, because of the complacency, because of the scattered energy, because of the repetitive that you weren't seeing. There's a reason why that Hangman is needed. You're feeling very controlled, I feel. King of Swords. Chariot. So So I feel like you're wanting to move away of this. This is forward movement, and also this is also, I feel like, something that is you feel like is a block for this forward movement, whatever it is. Oh my God! Do you guys see that? There's a reason why I said this. Are you going to be, that's, I literally just heard this, and that's why I'm like, I was processing. So, are you going to be leading with this energy that you are bored? There's a reason why I say whatever you want to do, doing it from the heart, literally doing it from a very transparent way. This person is a no bullshit kind of way. She is a no, and I'm sorry for my French, but literally no bullshit. There's a reason why you are connected to this person, because if this is your potential, or this is the energy that you can embody, either you are meant to embody, you are exactly equal as in magic. You're equal. You just need to strengthen your ideas, your values, you know. You need to be true to yourself. You have movement here. And even maybe, because this says control, maybe you're feeling control. This is, again, confirmation to what I said, taking action in feet and outward. Maybe you have to travel, or it is something having to do with travel that is actually boring. But whatever it is in movement right now. You cannot stop it. It's something that you cannot get out of. I kind of want to, there's a reason why this is under it. This is also marriage, yes. So again, future planning. There's a reason. Just trust. You need to just trust. Last one. You need to really just trust. Ten of Swords. You're going through the breakdown. You need to go through this dead end. There could be a third party. Maybe this is about breakup as well. Tower. Emotional tower as well. Which means, right, collective, you could have known this person for like 6 years now. You are feeling rock bottom right now, but you need to feel rock bottom so you can finally understand that it's only you who lifts you up. You've already had rock bottoms. This is just the hardest. You could be even feeling like a failure right now. But there could be something having to do with backstabbing energy, you know, even with these people or these energies around you. And also something, maybe your feet, like, this was something so weird for me to go through. Literally, there was this fly, which means you are getting lessons with how other people are accessing your energy without your permission. I had a fly. Never in my life have I ever been able to touch a fly and it not moving. It literally just walked all over my house. Literally just walked all over my house. I felt very invaded, and flies for me is that person looking in. Yeah. And usually they just come flying and they just leave. But this is like something that I feel like is permanent. I literally had to grab it and just, you know, let it go. But it was like very unsettling. So you could be now getting also, you know, maybe you're feeling psychically attacked. It's the final chapter. You could be going through an end of a season right now. Yeah. Out of manipulation, obsession. You're going through inner child wounds right now. Canceled event. You could be very creatively blocked as well. But I mean, that's also something that is maybe putting you in more emotions, because maybe there was this, you know, it does say study of magic, but the setting of goals, maybe also you feel that I'm gonna say it. I feel like maybe that's nice. This collective, I feel like maybe whoever maybe you were creatively going on business with, maybe you felt which means it's not only work, it's also passions, or this passion that you were wanting to start